Hey, and welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you are new. If you're new, my name's Autumn. I homeschool my two girls. My oldest is in second grade and my youngest is doing kindergarten work. And so I have done our homeschool card as an art cart, different things, and we are back into a homeschool cart. We did have an art cart, but I rearranged things in this room, took out the art cart, put them into cabinets. If you missed that video, I will make sure to link it in the description. But this video is going to be about what is now our homeschool cart. It is very much like a manipulatives, basically a math and language arts cart. And so I will show you how I have this set up for now because it constantly changes just based on what we need. So this top portion actually comes completely out. I bought this carrying tray from Target so that all of these math manipulatives can easily just come right to the table with us. So I'll go through this first. Back here, I have these linking cubes as well as the different like note cards, activity cards, I guess you would call them, that came with it. We've had this for such a long time, but I have that tucked back there. In the front here, I have the counting bears. So they're right here in the front. And then I have the place value, these sticks and the different blocks. But I just have a few of these in here. And then these ones that I love where it is red on the one side and white on the other. I also have those there. These are the centimeter cubes, which I bought these ahead of getting our place value ones, but we don't use these just for measurement. We use them for counting. It's just a fun manipulative to have. And then these ones are some of our favorites. They are the like bingo chips and then the magnets to pick them up. My girls absolutely love these, and anything that I can link, I will make sure to link in the description. So this is the second part now, and it's a continuation of math. These bins are actually meant so that you have extra storage to go on the outside, like if you need the extra storage, but I actually just like them to keep things organized inside, and then since they latch on, they don't really shift and move around. So I'm gonna take all these out, I'll put them on the table, and I'll show you what we've got. All right, so in this container, I have our sand timers. I love to use these just to keep mostly Alani on track. It's just really helpful for her to have a visual timer. So I have those in there. I have all of these dice here. These are just different numbers, different sides, all of that fun stuff. Some measuring tape. My girls have rollers, but it's nice to have this measuring tape. And then I've shown these a million times. I have no idea where to get them at this point because I've had them since I taught second grade, honestly. So some of these, I totally just dropped one, but some of these have the numbers and some of these have the operation. So there's plus and minus on this. And then these ones are the equal sign. And I will have to go and get that other one at another time. We have these as well. These are super fun. This is actually, I have a sticky note on this because for an activity Emmy was doing, she wasn't supposed to have the number 6. And so we covered that up, but they have 4 of these. And then I also have the blow up ones. If you watched my homeschool vlog, then you saw those. My girls absolutely love using those. In these bags, I have their math dice games. I always know this one's Emmy's because it's the bigger one, but this is one of them. I've shown these before. I'm not gonna really go through it, but I will make sure that they are linked. So this is like the junior one or whatever it is. And then this is the one for more Alani's age. But actually Alani's is the junior and I think Emmy's must be like my first math dice or something like that. But I love how small these are. They are just something that can travel with us and it's glorious. I love these. I have these flashcards. I just had them in different sections. So time and money, addition and subtraction for Alani. I like to get these from Ollie's if I can because the price is normally pretty low. And then these ones are Emmy's. There's the shapes and then there's numbers 0 to 25. This is another Emmy thing. It's like a matching and kind of like a puzzle. So different shapes and you can match them up. There's a few different ways to play. I just don't remember all of the different ways right now, but this is just one of those things that I got from Target. I think it was the Chuckle and Roar brand, but now it's something else that they carry. Very similar stuff though. And then in this last bin, I have our magnetic money. I like these because I can just put them right on my board, or the girls have their own magnetic boards. So it's fun to be able to use them on a board. I have these button manipulatives. So we have a ton of these. These are also just fun for counting and sorting. More of Emmy's age. I got these when Alani was little, but now they're more for Emmy's math stuff. And then the other thing I have is this numbers board. On the other side, it's shapes. And it comes with these 2 wooden sticks for the tracing. When I used to lay it flat, I had it like this, but it is just perfectly fine in here now. All right, so now we're gonna focus on this bottom area here. There is a little bit of math stuff, but it is mostly like reading, writing, language arts. I'm gonna start with the stuff that we're not actually using right now, but I prepped it for Alani a while ago, and so I just keep it in here. This is a CVC game that I had printed from Teachers Pay Teachers, but there are different cards here and the colors are important. So these cards have these orange on them, so they go with the orange here. And it's a little 5 in a row game where you read it and then you try to cover, and you're playing with another person, or you could play independently, but you're trying to get 5 in a row. So I have a bunch of these cut out, and I have so many more that I didn't cut because there were a lot, but I'm really looking forward to when I can play this with Emmy. And then this was a set of like high frequency words where some of them aren't maybe spelled the way you would expect to be spelled. Some of them are, but this is another set that I had when I was working with Alani. So these are ready to go for when Emmy is ready for them. And I had showed this in a haul still in the box, but this was a kindergarten writing activity set that I had gotten from Ollie's. And I kind of just took everything out so that it was easier than just using the box. So it has these cards, which are very similar to something else that we have, where you are building the letters with pieces. We have a big form of this as well, which the girls enjoy. It has these tri-grip tongues as well. It has this writing prompt spinner, which we don't really, well, we actually haven't used it yet at all, but I wouldn't use it for writing with Emmy yet, but it could be good for just conversation. And then it also came with this tracing book, as well as this dry erase board. And the one thing that I never like to see is when X is for like X-ray fish or anything like that, because most of the time that kids are coming across this letter, X doesn't say X. It's normally making the X sound. So that is something I couldn't see ahead of getting it, but it is something that I teach differently than this. But outside of that, it is a cute little book. I use these a lot for counters. I also use them for this game where they're covering up the different spaces because they're nice little mini erasers. And then this is the one thing where I said there's a little bit of math in here. So there are letters here, and then I also have numbers here. Though technically this has numbers and shapes too. The flashcards that I have down here are sight words. I don't really do sight words, but once they are explicitly taught, this is something that I enjoy using. And then I also have the short vowel flashcards, which Alani loved these. So at this point, this is more for making sure Alani still knows how to spell these types of words. And then Emmy will get into this when she gets to CVC, but we are just starting out with her. Another thing I have in here is this little dictionary. This is just something that I didn't want to have on our bookshelf. I thought it would just be best in the cart so it doesn't get lost with everything else. I've talked about these letter tracing before and how I wanted to get a board like the math one that I got, but I am so glad that it wasn't available because I love having the individual letters for this. One, just because it's not overwhelming, but two, they can also put these together with other letters and they can work on the spelling of the word. They can also work on just having the word set out and tracing it before writing themselves. So again, This was an accidental purchase, but I am so glad that I got it. And it does come with this for the tracing. And then in this last bin, I have these. These are CVC activities as well. I had so many CVC activities for Alani. Again, I'm super excited to get to that point with Emmy. But these cards, they can either have the picture and they have to spell it, or it's the picture with the word. And then it has these different cubes. There are a few of them, but I'm not going to pull all of them out. But they have these, and they can twist it and spell the word that they need to spell. So absolutely love these. These are so fun. And then the last thing I have are these letter tiles. In this jar, I just put the lowercase ones, and in this jar, I have the capital letters. But these are just one-sided letter tiles. I think this might be another thing that I had when I taught second grade. I'm pretty sure I've had these for a long time. What I love about having a cart like this is it doesn't take up a ton of space, but it can just hold so much. And again, some of the things I have are meant to sit on the outside to create even more space. I just like to use them to create a contained space within the cart. So it really does have like additional space if you wanted it. I can move this around. It is normally not right here. It is normally tucked over by our bookshelf, and we just love these carts. I have one that's a bigger one that my girls use for the magnet tiles. As I said, we used to have one we used as the art cart. They're just really easy to change up for whatever you need. So again, I will make sure that I link as much as I can. As always, thank you so much for your support on my channel, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.